Painting 101. I am going to do a video tutorial today for my Veterans Day rock design. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about designing words on rocks. I know a lot of people have a hard time with this. It's something that I haven't done a lot of, but I kind of wanted to step you through my design process because maybe just that little bit will help you in your design process. So the first thing you want to do is decide what you want to write on your rock. This week for Veterans Day, I love the phrase home of the free because of the brave. My husband's in the military, so it means a lot to me. So I started off by just kind of writing it out. I wanted to alternate big letters and little letters. Now, obviously, I would need a real big rock for this. So I decided to drop the home out of the big, home of the free, but I didn't really care for those letters. So I started over to have the short bottom letters, home of the free because of the brave, and a banner. Then I did this one down here with the banner, but then I kind of liked the idea of adding arrows on it. So that got us to this one, home of the free because of the brave. And just for design purposes, I wanted to have some white behind the lettering. So this is kind of what I ended up with my final design. Now, once you kind of have the idea of the design that you want, make sure that you've got a rock that kind of fits that design. This one looks like it covers it mostly, as you can see on the paper, so I should be able to fit it on there. I might have to make a few adjustments here and there, but that's kind of the thought process of how I ended up with this rock. Now that I have my design, you can kind of push and move it around a little bit. Like I've got this one here I'm going to do it on. It doesn't quite fit on there, so I'm going to have to make a little bit of an adjustment there. I've got a few other rocks over here that I might do it on. This one's a triangle, so I'll definitely have to kind of move things around, which is okay. I just wanted to have a good idea of what I'm going to do before I take it to my rock. I don't just pull out a rock and start designing right on my rock when I'm trying to fit a lot of words or something specific. So now that I've kind of gone through that little bit for you, we're going to get started. I've got all sorts of different sizes of red, white, and blue here on the side. I'm not quite 100% sure which ones I'm going to use. I just grabbed them all, got them all shook up nice. And then I also have that new PN Micron Pen. If you watched the video last week, this one has a different tip to it. If you buy this pack of pens, they are all the same size tip, so you won't get all those different variations of tip size. However, it has a little bit different tips, so you don't have to worry about wearing it down quite as fast as on those other pens. So with that said, I'm going to start with the most important word on my rock, and that is brave, because I want to make sure that I have plenty of space for that on here. So I'm going to get that down on my rock. We're going to put the two big words down first, and we'll work everything else around that. So make sure I'm in frame here. Now, this style of letter is actually a pretty easy font to replicate. You basically have really big top parts of your letters and these short little stubby bottoms. So practice on a piece of paper a little bit if you need to, but it's a pretty easy one to kind of replicate. Just like that. All right, now we're pretty far over on this side, and I'm going to have my arrow, so that's why I want to have my big words first. So now I know I need my free to go this way, so I have room for my because of for the brave part there. Now I'm going to use my red to write free. And like I said, I'm going to make free a little bit smaller so that I have a little more space to work with here. I'm going to use the same style of font. So that really low letter. There we go. And like all of my rock designs, I like to kind of get my basics on here first, and then we can make adjustments and things as need be. So I don't know if I'll have room for my stars. I might still get a little line of little stars in there. We'll see. Now I'm going to add on my, this is wrong size, add in my arrows. And I'm going to start with just a single line arrow. So I'm going to have my point at the top here. So start with the triangle here. But I'm only going to add a single line back to Brave so that I get my shape. So that's where it's going to be. Now I can make it thicker and larger. And we know it will follow the curve that we want. So you can make it wider. And I am going to outline this so we can crisp up the edges. That's why I'm using my bigger pen. Okay, so we'll have home of the free. And I've got a funny part of my rock here too. So let's see if we can make this work here because of the Brave. Okay, well, let's see how we can do. Because of, maybe we can put the in our triangle. Sometimes you have to improvise even if you've got a plan. Okay, like that. And we got to curve up and back. And then we'll make that wider, just like we did on the other side. Got a lumpy part of my rock here that I'm working with. When you have a lumpy part, just be patient. Add layers if you need to get more paint in there. So I think what I'm going to do is because of the can go in this arrow, the tip. So make this wide enough that I can put the word of side by side in there. There we go. All right, so we've got our basic layout. The blue went on nice and thick and dark and it looks fabulous. The red, I might need to add another coat I can see through in a few spots on there. And I'm also going to do some outlining as well. I'm going to go ahead and put in, I'm going to fit some stars in there. I've got my extra fine tip. I just really want some stars. Even if I don't get them all the way across the bottom, I think I can fit a few of them here and there. If you're using an extra fine tip right on your rock, just use a nice light touch. So you don't splatter. There we go. Okay, let's do another coat on that red. When you're adding your second coat, just use a light touch. You don't want to actually pull up the coat underneath. If you push too hard, sometimes that can happen. You'll find yourself just moving around paint. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead with my blue here on this arrow and write our home of the. Sometimes it's easier to work kind of backwards. You got to section off. Okay, so where are these words going to be? I'm going to have the fit inside of this arrow. So we've got to have home of in this curved part. So I'm actually going to start with the of. So that I can have the spacing. So home of the free, and I'm gonna use, I think I'm gonna use this one because I need to get because, and I've got some lumps in here, so I'm gonna be extra careful. So I'm gonna get because across here, and then we'll have of the Brave. There we go. Now I'm going to have to get because right into this area here, which is going to be tricky, so I'm going to kind of hold my breath, and I won't be talking during that. go, because of the brave. See, got it in there just fine. Home of the free, because of the brave. Now, if you would like, this is totally up to you. I'm gonna outline my arrows, and I may even outline my stars to give them nice pointy tips to it. And I might outline my free, possibly with blue. We'll see how I like it once we get the outlines of our arrows on here. Again, I'm gonna go over this lumpy area. Just use a light hand. Don't force it. Here we go. I'm gonna get this arrow over here. Almost looks like it disappears behind the F there, and I'm okay with that. There we go. And we'll do these stars. The middle one got a little bit wonky on me. I'm gonna let that dry and then I'll fix that a little bit. And I think I do. I think I want to add the blue outline to this red to really make it pop, because it's an important word too here. I think it will really bring it all together. Again, just take your time. I know I kind of work my way through these rocks kind of quickly, but that's because I have y'all watching. I'm sitting at home and I'm just painting rocks on my desk. I slow down and really just enjoy while you're creating the rock. Now, like I mentioned before, it is Veterans Day week for the 52 Rocks Challenge. So if you've painted some amazing veterans rocks already, come by and share them. And if you haven't, whip up a batch or two and then come back and share them. All right. I think with this, we're gonna call it done. I'm gonna fix this center star here. I'll fix that outline as soon as that's dry. And I think he's gonna be finished. I really like how that turned out. I'm gonna give one little bit more here of this black along the top here. There we go, crisp up that line. All right. That's a much better shaped star. There we go. So I hope you guys make some amazing rocks. Give this one a try. If you do make this rock, come back and share it in the comments. Or just share any of your fun Veterans Day ideas in the comments. Hopefully this kind of inspires you to get out a piece of paper and doodle a little bit. It doesn't always look perfect every single time, but you'll kind of see that you can kind of, through a process, create a rock that you'll love. So everybody have a wonderful day. Thanks for following along with Rock Painting 101. I'm going to come back after I've got a few more, since this video's recorded already, and maybe show off a few more rocks here at the end as well. Everybody have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.